We got shirts on sale. Express your evolution and starter Pokemon love by buying an Evolution Family shirt and Which One starter shirt. Link will be in the description below. I never thought I would see the day where I actually make this video series. People have been asking me for years to make this video, but it started getting real reactions when this person right here told me to make it. It's because of your comment that this worst team series is going to start. Now, based on the titling, the worst team is essentially the opposite of the best team, meaning get the crappiest Pokemon I can and turn your journeys into pure Pokemon hell. The worst Pokemon that I find will be on the team. This team will give you a challenge, but I don't think it will be impossible to beat the games. And if you do happen to be having difficulties, then good. I did an amazing job creating the team. As always, I will be providing a moveset for these Pokemon, no post-game tutor moves or egg moves. We may use TMs though. I will also be providing a list of all the important trainers and stuff that these Pokemon do well against. But yeah, these are the 6 worst Pokemon in FireRed and LeafGreen in my opinion. So I hope these guys can give you guys hell. Oh yeah, we're also starting with FireRed and LeafGreen. It's best team tradition to start there. And we'll be going to Gold, Silver, Crystal next, ORAS, etc. You guys should get the order by now. Oh, derp. I should have told you guys. Because the starters are actually decent, we're going to be boxing them. To make your time easier, the starter you should pick is Bulbasaur. That way Blue will have Charizard. The Pokemon we will have later on will do the best against Charizard. So whenever I say Blue's team, I'm talking specifically about his Charizard one. So that way there's no confusion. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so starting off our first Pokemon, it's going to be Raticate. They are good in the sense of they actually have decent stats and are actually decently viable for a playthrough. So our Raticate may not be our starter, it is still our first Pokemon we're going to capture for our journey. Raticate, I have to say, is one of the worst Pokemon you can get in Kanto. It's not the worst, but it's definitely one of them. Raticate is horrible, but at least it gives some coverage for situations. This is the worst team, but I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. Raticate actually has decent speed, but it's a glass cannon and still only has 81 base attack, so it's not excellent. To be honest, while Raticate may be bad, it's definitely not going to be the worst Pokemon on this team. Raticate is a glass cannon compared to other normal types in Kanto though, that's why it's here. Nice speed, decent attack, and god-awful defenses. Now let's move on to Raticate's moveset. For moves we got Return, Hyper Fang / Super Fang, Iron Tail, and Shadow Ball. I have 2 normal type attacks in here because most of Raticate's coverage is special, and its special attack is even more garbo than its physical. Return can be found in the Lookout Tower right below Lavender Town. Hyper Fang is a level up attack learned at level 13, and then get rid of that for Super Fang that can be learned at level 40. Super Fang automatically does half HP to any opponent, so that's a handy attack, especially if you're in a pinch. Iron Tail can be found in the game corner for 3,500 coins, and Shadow Ball can be found in the game corner for 4,500 coins. With these moves, Raticate does well against Giovanni's Rhyhorn and Onix, Sabrina's team, Lorelai's Jinx, Bruno's Onix, Agatha's Ghost types, Lance's Aerodactyl, and Blue's Alakazam, Rhydon, and Exeggutor. Raticate isn't bad, I guess. Coming up next to the team is actually one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, being Butterfree. Caterpie can be found in Viridian Forest. Butterfree is pretty horrible because, for one, the bug type was physical in this generation, and it also doesn't have all that great bug type attacks, and flying type attacks for that matter. Its typings are totally crippled in this generation, being Flying and Bug. Flying is also physical, and the only flying attacks it gets are Gust and Aerial Ace. Granted, Aerial Ace isn't bad, but it's physical, and Butter's physical, well, that's pretty horrible. Its special attack stat is its dominant stat for attacking, and the 2 typings it has are physical in this generation, so it's especially worse in Generation 3. The reason why we are picking up Butterfree is because of the psychic attacks it has access to, along with it being the only Pokemon that can do decent against Brock for that point in the game. But Mystic, you could use Mankey. Yeah, we could, but it's version exclusive, and it's actually a very good Pokemon in the long run of things. Remember, this is the worst team, so we need the worst Pokemon possible. Butterfree with Confusion is the only way past Brock if you're excluding Mankey in the starters. Also, all the second Pokemon in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen are actually good, like Mr. Mime, Jinx, and the Aberline. Yes, Kadabra is actually very good despite it being pre-evolved. Hypno is also decent to some degree. Butterfree is trash regardless of how cute it is. I'm gonna say regardless though one more time, I still love this Pokemon a lot, no matter what people say. Going into Butterfree's moveset, we have Psybeam, Psychic, Silverwind, and Giga Drain. We have 2 Psychic attacks because Psychic only has 10 PP, and having a second attack for Psychic is great for PP consumption. Silverwind can be learned at level 47. Regardless of its physical, it's actually not a horrible attack, as there is a small chance to boost the user's stats. I mean all of them. Also, if you guys run into any PP ups in the games, I recommend you guys pick those up and use them on Silverwind. That way you have more than 5 power points. Lastly, we got Giga Drain, and that can be obtained from Erica after defeating her. With these moves, Butterfree does well against Erica's poison types, Koga's team. If Butterfree has Silverwind, then it will do well against Sabrina. Giovanni's ground types other than the Nidos. Lorelai's water types, even though I wouldn't advise this. Bruno's rock types, you should be able to OHKO them, I'm pretty sure. Agatha's team, and Blue's Alakazam, Exeggutor, and Rhyhorn. I wouldn't recommend using it against Bruno though, that's just a bad idea. I hate this Pokemon. Parasect is on the team, and let me tell you guys, this is the worst Pokemon on the team. Paras can be found in Mount Moon. This is the worst team for Kanto's mascot. In later gens, it isn't as bad, because you at least get same type attack bonus moves that go well with its dominant stat being its physical attack. In generations 3 and below, Parasect literally has nothing aside from Giga Drain and Leech Life. Leech Life has 20 power in Gen 3. This move is awful in Generation 3, and anything until Generation 7 where it actually gets 80 power. Giga Drain doesn't look bad if Parasect didn't have 60 base special attack. Also, the amount of weaknesses it has is just completely disastrous. God, this is turning into an opinion video. I think you guys get it. Parasect sucks. I don't really have much more to say about it. You guys are gonna hate its moveset too. I tell you guys, this is hell giving you guys this moveset. I couldn't think of anything better. If you have anything more, change it in the comments. I don't care this time. We got Dig, Bullet Seed / Giga Drain, Leech Life, and then Growth / Slash. What an awful Pokemon and an awful moveset. Oh well, it's the worst team. This is the crappiest of the crappiest. Dig is probably the most important move you can give the Parasect because it's going to be the Pokemon that takes out Lieutenant Surge. Dig can be found from the Rocket Grunt who busted up that house in Cerulean City after the Bill event. Bullet Seed can be found in Mount Moon, and Giga Drain can be learned at level 51. Some of you might be asking, why would you give Butterfree the Giga Drain TM over Parasect? Compare the special stats and let me know then. Butterfree has much more use for Giga Drain earlier on because of how much higher its special attack stat is. I still think Butterfree would do more damage with Giga Drain than Parasect would, but it still has Giga Drain as a level up move, so you aren't completely stripping it of that. The last move we have is Leech Life. Leech Life can be learned at level 19. Mystic, you said this move was bad. Why are you giving it to it then? That was the best thing I could do for this Pokemon. I guess Spore wouldn't be a bad option neither if you don't like Leech Life. Spore can be learned at level 27. So this is the part where I usually talk about the trainers Parasect as well against, and the only answers I really have are Lieutenant Surge and Misty, but I'll give you guys the full list regardless. Surprisingly, it doesn't do that bad against Erika's Tangela, Sabrina's team, Giovanni's rock types, but no. Lorelei's team, no. Bruno's rock types, no. And Blue's Alakazam, Rhydon, and Exeggutor. Be careful when using Parasect because of all these weaknesses. In the number 4 spot, we have our flyer for the team being Farfetch'd. Yeah, unfortunately, despite of how cool a Pokemon I think Farfetch'd is, it's a pretty bad Pokemon. Its HP and defense stats are pretty abysmal, and the rest of its stats are just downright mediocre. Its attack stat, unfortunately, didn't get buffed until Generation 7, so we're stuck with the 65 base garbage. The amount of decent moves it can learn are far and few in between, so that's not doing it any favors either. Farfetch'd has always been one of the Pokemon that are most deserving of an evolution, but never got one. They were even going to give it one in Generation 2, but then scraped it up for whatever reason. So sad. But anyways, at least Farfetch'd can serve a purpose for us, being the worst possible flyer on this team. So to get Farfetch'd, you have to trade a girl, a Spearow, and Vermilion City. Luckily on Route 11, you can get a Spearow at levels 13, 15, or 17. Definitely try to get it at 17 if you can, just to save yourself the trouble of needing to grind it up. So with that being said, we'll just jump straight into the moveset. We got Fly, Swords Dance or Aerial Ace, Steel Wing, and Slash. Honestly, the moves that we were able to give Farfetch'd are very solid, but again with that speed, Farfetch'd is for sure the worst option. You get Fly's HM on Route 16 from a girl inside of the house, which will require Cut to get into. Swords Dance is learned at level 31, or you can get Aerial Ace's TM on Route 9, which is Cut required. The option is up to you on which moves end up on Farfetch'd. If you want more attacking power, then go for Swords Dance. If you want a quicker to use flying type move, then go for Aerial Ace. Steel Wing's TM can be found in the Safari Zone below the Rest House. And finally, Slash is a move learned at level 41. With these moves, Farfetch'd can attempt to do well against Erika's team, Giovanni's 2 Rhyhorn, just beware of Rock Blast, and it's dumb. Lorelei's Jinx if you think you can eat Ice Punch. Bruno's entire team, just be careful of Onyx's Rock Tomb. Still, I wouldn't do it. Lance's Aerodactyl if you're brave and are sane, I guess. And Blue's Rhydon as long as you're careful of Rock Tomb. I mean, honestly, I'm just giving you guys the list of what this Pokemon could potentially do well against, but it still sucks. It's not good against many things. And most of the things it can do good against are really risky moves. But again, this is the worst team after all. So it's safe to say that it's the best worst flyer in all of Kanto. Coming up 5th is my least favorite Pokemon, Electrode. Voltorb can be found on Route 10, right near Rock Tunnel, or in the Power Plant itself. No, it's not on the worst team because I dislike it. It's genuinely the worst electric Pokemon you can get in Kanto. Pikachu is actually worse, but I wanted to do this with fully evolved Pokemon. We need an electric Pokemon for Lorelei because Parasect won't do that job. I guarantee that. Electrode is probably the best worst Pokemon on this team. 80 base special attack isn't bad, and that high speed stat is definitely not a joke. But there are better electric mons out there, for example, Jolteon. Electrode has that decent special defense to tank Lorelei's special attacks too, so that's why we have it. The fast electric hitting attacks will come in handy even though this Pokemon is still butt. Moves for Electrode, we got Thunderbolt, Self-Destruct / Explosion, Thief, and Light Screen. Electrode has an awful move pool, so this is the best we got. Thunderbolt can be obtained from the game corner for 4,000 coins, and it's the best stab option we got. For Explosion and Self-Destruct, why wouldn't you have these moves on Electrode? Do you not have any sense of culture? Thief can be obtained from Mount Moon after going down a few floors. Thief is there because it's pretty much the only coverage attack Electrode gets. Light Screen can be learned at level 41, or you can get the TM for it at the Celadon City department store. Light Screen is here because with the worst team, any kind of barrier for special attacks will help. These moves Electrode can do well against Sabrina's team, Lorelei's team, Agatha's Golbat, Lance's Gyarados and Aerodactyl, and Blue's entire team aside from Rhydon. Also note, I'm referencing Blue's Charizard team. And in the last slot on their team, we have Kingler. Kingler takes the place of Lapras being our Surfer and Ice Beamer. Stat-wise, that's okay I guess. It's got great attack and defense, okay speed, and trash everything else. But what makes Kingler particularly bad is the fact we don't have the physical special split yet, meaning all of its water type attacks are special. Yup, the 50 base special attack stat makes me want to cry when I think about using this thing. If we had this split back in Generation 4, Kingler actually wouldn't be that bad of an option, but that isn't the case. So no point in thinking about it. So to get crabby, you can go on Route 12 via the Good Rod and Super Rod. Here's the deal. In FireRed, the Good Rod gives you a 20% chance to get a level 5 to 15 crabby, whereas LeafGreen gives you a 60% chance. And if you have the Super Rod in LeafGreen, you have an 84% chance to get a level 15 to 35 crabby. So yeah, you LeafGreen players are going to have a far easier time getting this team member, but it won't be that bad for FireRed players. You will survive. From there, just simply level up Krabby to level 28 to get your Kingler. So for Kingler's moveset, we have Surf and Ice Beam, like I mentioned not too long ago, Rock Tomb, and finally Hyper Beam. Surf can be found from the secret house in the Safari Zone, Ice Beam can be bought at the game corner, Rock Tomb's TM is given to you by Brock after you beat him, and finally Hyper Beam can be purchased at the Celadon department store. Surf is there for obvious stab, Ice Beam is there for coverage, Rock Tomb is there because why not, its speed drop comes in handy, and Hyper Beam, well it's broken. With these moves, Kingler can do its best against Sabrina's Venomoth, Blaine's entire team, Giovanni's team, Lorelei's team aside from Slowbro, Bruno's Onyx, Agatha's Golbat, Lance's entire team, and finally, Blue's entire team aside from his Alakazam. Yeah, Kingler might make its way onto the team halfway through the game, but honestly from all the work it can try to put in, I definitely say it is a contender for MVP of this worst team for Kanto. A contender, not the actual one. So HMs are going to be a question, I know. All of the Pokemon on this team are HM slaves, so you can use the HMs as you see fit and go to the move deleter once you don't need them anymore. Well, there you have it. To me, that is the worst team you can possibly use for Kanto, FireRed, and LeafGreen. These Pokemon are complete trash, and I hope they give you a hard time in FireRed and LeafGreen. If you guys have any worse teams in this one, definitely let me know in the comments below. I had a lot of fun making this, so definitely expect these more often. Our next stop is Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Johto, so that will definitely be a weird generation. I'm trying to keep this best team tradition style, so that's why I'm doing it like this. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and Nintendo content like Shiny Hunting, Showdown Battles, Explorers of Sky, Zelda, Fire Emblem, Smash Brothers, Borderlands, you name it, I play it. Want to support me further in game call perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Pal491, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weezosted, and Sodden Grider did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrian, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.